So we are getting some crazy readings on our inverter. We have a reverse polarity light going off, and I'm seeing 80 volts between the hot and the neutral. Well, 12 right now, but it was 80. There it goes. Well, so something's loose. See, it's like jumping around.
Yeah.
I'm seeing 80, and then between the hot and the neutral, and we're seeing 40 between the ground and the neutral. So there's some sort of leakage occurring. So we are currently inverterless. So that's the problem, because we need the inverter to run our laptops and also our Starlink and everything else that keeps our business going. So, yeah.
Now that we've decided to make crossing the Pacific our goal this spring, we'll need to start hitting the to-do list hard. It might seem like we've got time, but we also need to make many miles south before we're at our jump-off point to cross. So we need to account for time when we won't be able to receive orders easily, shop for parts, and do projects because we're on the move and, as always, needing to maintain Calico Sky's condition as we do so. Plus, I'll be stateside down the line for my sister's upcoming vasectomy, so time will really evaporate on us quickly.
One of the things we're working on as we pair across the Pacific Ocean is making sure the diesel engine is in good shape. It's usually easy to start, it runs pretty well, but it is the original power plant, and it's one of the main systems we have not serviced on Calico. So when we were doing that valve cover adjustment, we actually received a number of comments that the oil is too black. I'm not sure what that means, but one of the recommendations is that there's possibly blow-by on the engine, which would be like exhaust leaking in from the cylinders, which would be a very bad thing. So I'm just warming up the engine right now to do a little test, which is basically remove the oil fill cap and see if there's any pressure coming out. It's a good sanity check to make sure the engine's like not in like fatal damage, because I think it would not be good if it was blow by. I'm just letting the engine warm up a little bit first though. It is at 120, and I believe this test has to be done of some load on the engine, because if it's just idling, even at a high RPM, the fuel is not going anywhere. So you want to actually like generate some load on the engine and test this. I just kind of read about this online, like take off the oil cover and then see if it blows it off. Give it a little bit of gas. Slowly increasing at the dock. Okay, let's go down below. Definitely some air moving there, but not like blowing the cap off, which was a test. I'm not sure what the normal amount of air should be. I'm going to increase the revs a little bit and see if that changes anything. But yeah, if anyone knows how much air should be moving, that'd be very helpful. Thank you. On the underside of the cap, there are hooks to help latch the cover closed. It's possible that those hooks could be preventing the cap from being able to blow off. Well, I made one mistake. You're supposed to put the cover upside down, not on, so I'm going to redo that. I might pull the breather hose too, to see if it's clogged with anything, just because I'm reading the service manual, and that's sort of like where the gases return into the air intake, so it goes out the exhaust. So if there's excess pressure, because I guess there's always a little bit of blow-by, I'm reading in the manual, so this breather hose here basically takes any exhaust gases and pushes them back down into here, which is where the air intake goes, and then that would suck it back through the cylinders, I suppose, and out the exhaust. Well, I would say that was an inconclusive test. The engine vibrates so much, there's no chance that cap's gonna stay on there. I put it down on like the heat exchanger with no air. I'm just gonna pull the hose and try to clean it just to be careful. I don't think we have excessive blow-by though. It's not the vibe I'm getting from it. It seems pretty normal. But this is the breather hose. I'm gonna pull this off and try to clean it up. Okay, this is the oil breather hose. It's a little bit gnarly. I'm just gonna jam a screwdriver through it, clean it out a little bit. That looks fairly clear. I can see light through it now. Okay. That looks a little dirty there. The engine, not the breather case. The side The non-valve cover side looks a little clogged up. Well, after years of trusty service, it's time to retire our Manta snubber. We got a new line on this. It's just been through a lot of storms, a lot of hurricanes. Starting to chafe there. So figured all the way back to the States before we cross the Pacific, might as well have the new one here. So the snubber is what we use to take the pressure off our windlass. You wouldn't let the chain just sit in the gypsy of the windlass and tug on the boat. You can actually feel the difference. There's absolutely no stretch in a chain at all. And we have 20 feet each leg on these snubbers to help kind of absorb the impact of the boat moving in the wind and the waves. I'll probably still keep this one around as a spare. It's not in terrible shape, but lines do get stretched and overheated when they're in storms. So we've been through at least 2 hurricanes anchored out, so time to change this one up. This is a chain hook. You could use traditional chain hooks that are just shaped like that, but the problem I have is when there's no wind, the hook drops the chain. So this is nice because it has a captive pin that never lets the chain fall out, which is why we use this Manta snubber on board our boat. Had this since 2016, so actually my first few years of sailing for a 3/8 chain. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I like this device.
Let me tell you a little story about the importance of safety wire. In my first year cruising, I was anchoring in BVIs in about 15 feet of water and let out all 20 feet of the snubber like a good little sailor. When I woke up in the morning, the snubber was in pieces on the sea floor because I didn't safety wire it together. And I'd been rubbing up and down on the corals, and there was not enough wind to lift the whole thing up, and we wound up losing the whole piece. I had to go dive down and reassemble it. So that's why I'm taking such care to safety wire together the snubber.
So back at Calico, we received a brand new Victron inverter from Battleborn, which is really cool. Then we didn't actually get our first inverter through them, but I had reached out to their customer support because they see so many problems. We're getting this weird reverse polarity light on our inverter. Basically what the story of that inverter was is there was a strip set screw for the AC input side, and the day before the Panama Canal that failed and I had to solder the connection. So my assumption is that when I soldered, it probably overheated something and was causing a leakage of current across the 2 terminals. It lasted about 2 years, but they did send us a brand new one, which is very easy. It was a drop-in, but it was such an easy drop-in that I forgot to even program it. So when I came back to the boat, I'm in some weird storage mode, which I've never even heard of. So I am going to go program it now properly for our lithium battery bank. In order to program, you need one of these little MK3 USB adapters. It basically takes Ethernet into USB into your computer, and I use the Victron Connect app. It will not work with our servo screen plugged in, so I have to unplug the other black Ethernet coming out here. So I'm gonna open it up and do a little programming. I'm gonna unplug this black one is for the connection to the servo unit, which you can't have both or it gets confused. So disconnect that one. See that now there's no more inverter. Now I'm gonna go ahead and plug in this thing to my laptop. Okay. Now see it's retrieving the VE bus data. Take a little while. Okay, there we go. So now it recognizes the multi-plus. If I go into here, now I should be able to enter the settings for our multi-plus. I think the storage mode is for not for a non-lithium battery bank, meaning it's just they're seeing no discharge all day because it's battery charging. but it's not doing a float at like the higher 13.8, it's like 13.2. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the settings. I have to enable settings. I believe the password is 3 Z's, capital Z, Z, Z. Okay, I'm in. Let's see here. I don't care about this stuff. I want the charger. Oh, I want to put 120 because our battery bank could take that. Absorption voltage is at that. Lithium batteries. Okay, so no more storage mode because lithium, we will not equalize our lithiums. Okay. The temperature we don't need because we have that. Float 13.8, 120, I think that's pretty good. Okay, I think that's about it. AC input limit, I have that down to 17 so we don't burn any plugs up. Okay, let's close her back up. Plug this guy out of here. This one lives here for my storage, and then plug back in the Servo GX. Pop this back on. Okay. See, that's back. So yeah, so she's charging now. So we're gonna do a little more charging today because it's a lithium bank. It could take higher power. So I have to get the head sail back up. She's still down from storage, but I would like to swap my jib halyards around. We only have 4 rope clutches on the mast, but we have 6 halyards. So 2 Spinnaker, 2 jibs, and 2 main. Our main jib halyard is in good shape, but there's no rope clutch. So if you guys notice any of that sagging in the videos from the summer, it's because I couldn't get proper tension on it. So this is a spare jib halyard, and you see it's a little bit chafed up. Still has no issues, but I don't want to make that my primary, so this will be my backup one. So I'm going to go ahead and run them through the mast up and down and then swap the position so I get the jib up with proper tension this time. To do this, I'm going to need 2 sets of messenger lines because I'm pulling 2 halyards out to swap them. Usually I get away with 1 when I'm replacing a halyard, but because I'm swapping their position inside the mast, it's going to take 2. So this is the main offender, the black halyard that I showed you earlier. It does not have a rope clutch on the mast for it, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. There's a reeving eye spliced in, so I'm just going to tie my line to there and pull that through. Well, that was a fail. Wasn't long enough, it's stuck up there now. So close. So halyard 1 is down. Gonna go take this guy down now. The red. Okay, the next one's gonna be sent up. So our halyards run internally on our mast. So they enter through the mast exit at the bottom, go up over top of the shivs, and then back down to the deck. In order to replace the halyards, we temporarily replace the halyard with a messenger line inside the mast. So basically tying a thinner line through, and then we use that new messenger line to pull the whole thing back through. She's out and now in a rope clutch. Which is all I needed. All right, so I'm gonna raise the head sail and get that out of the way now. Just sitting in our cockpit for a little bit. I'm gonna get rid of it now.
We are moving 2 knots in 4.6 knots of breeze.
Until I get the code 0 out.
And astute viewers might notice that our wind instrument is wrong. It's basically backwards.
Or something.
Or something.
Somehow really miscalibrated.
Yeah.
You know you've made it when you have 2 wind sensors.
Our old one was broken the whole summer. The wind speed was right, but the apparent wind angle was totally off, and it wasn't like a linear thing where I could adjust it with the masthead calibration, like the masthead angle calibration. So something was off in the potentiometer, I assume. So we got a new one while we were away, and I'm gonna go up to Mass today and install it, just because I need to get something done here. It's a little bit windy, but it'll be good. So let's see, it's already been paired. I think you just got to turn on this, put in the battery, and it should repair. So I'm just gonna make sure before I bring it up there that it is working, because I don't want to go back up there. Let's see, so, all right, so this should read 180, negative 180 on the instruments. 48, 156, 61, 65, 70. It's a little slow, we have a damper on. We have dampers on our instrument data, and what that does is basically like reduces the number of observations and averages it to make a more steady flow of information. If you had the wind sensor, apparent wind sensor updating every second like it can do, you're gonna get crazy readings. It really needs to be averaged out as the boat like moves through a seaway and the masthead indicator is swinging around. So damper effectively just averages out the readings we're seeing on our instruments, and we also use that for like our speed. For instance, when we're surfing down a wave, you don't want to see like that 8 knots. You want to kind of see like what the boat is doing over a sustained period. So that's what a damper is used for. Yeah, so that's 177, close enough. Well, our mainsail is arriving. It's supposed to arrive today, which is a little bit early. So Mike and I from Alegria are gonna head up to the border and grab our sail, along with like 4 of his sails. Actually, maybe even, I think 4 he got. So we're gonna have quite the load of sails coming down. He ordered new sails, and we have a new main coming. Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit up to the border town and then come on back down. We're heading up the gas track, which is a funny little gas station that takes packages for sailors at the border. It's where our mainsail is, and Mike has 4 other sails there, so we're on a little sail mission today. We're just driving up. It's about an hour and a half from the boatyard. Look who we have! Christmas Day has arrived. Oh, battens too, eh? Okay.
Hi.
Oh, look who it is, the paparazzi.
It's like Christmas morning here.
There's so many sails. We're just playing some new Spinnaker. Ours is crammed back there. There's our battens.
Scratching the surface, but look at this.
Look at the size of this hoop. This is like shoulders. That's a big sock.
This is your spinny?
Yeah. Look at the colors.
I really like this.
That I Mike did this. There we go. Okay, these are ours. Our battens.
Nice.
And here's our sail. Look at that.
Very exciting.
They can see. Yeah, they put it on starboard. That's good. There's our orange.
Ooh.
I don't know where any of the hardware is though. Go look in here. We'll take it down in the boat.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Let's see what we got here. Take all the hardware off, I think.
Okay.
Our old one. I don't know where the batten pockets are though. We gotta look for that.
Take it out, yeah.
There's the orange strap. Those are cool. The orange looks pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, it does. Such a crisp sail.
So we're gonna recycle our old Strong Tides marine system for these. It's like a sail slug. We have the same number of these as we did for our old mainsail. We're recycling our sail slugs. These are our Tides Marine, low friction, heavy duty tracks. We're just gonna put them on the new sail, and then I'm gonna raise the sail for a test fit. This is the first one. I think I have 15 of these. Okay. It's so much easier to get them mounted in. And then I get a screwdriver out. Stand by. Technical difficulties here. Okay. Get that thing ready to rock and roll. There we go. That'll help. Okay. Good. That's number one. 15 more to go. These are the slides. This is like a plastic low friction, so see nothing hangs up.
Yeah.
And these metal are a little bit heavier, so it helps the sail drop into place. We opted to go with our safety orange, as you guys probably saw in the sail console, but this will get you noticed about 6 feet of orange material. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we also have orange draft stripes to kind of tie in with our orange head sail. So I think it's exciting. I think it's gonna look cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do the next
Very
one.
complimentary.
Okay. Double up. Okay. I want to make sure there's like double loops here.
What do you mean by double loops?
There's like, see like one loop is doubled up. See 1, 2. Probably to take a load, but I just wanted to make sure I got it through.
Both.
I'll get ready to pull it just enough to get my help me. Aye, too far. Feels heavy. I think it's heavier than the other one. Obviously the battens and it wouldn't be folding over like this.
Yeah.
The battens can't go
I
in
love
yet.
the stripe.
Like the stripe?
Yeah, the stripes look great.
God, man, why is it still so heavy?
You're just out of shape.
Seriously. Probably good enough. That keeps the sail slugs from coming out the bottom of the track. Okay. The other side. Jam this through. Okay. How's it look?
Good. Yeah,
The eyeballs come out a little bit.
yeah, like
We're missing our battens too.
yeah,
so
the battens make
that could be 1, 2, 3, 4.
pretty big difference.
This is Our old main was completely shot and blown out after nearly 35,000 miles of faithful service. The main is actually up more frequently, I would say, than the jib, because we keep it raised while we're motor sailing and things like that on passage, so it probably has more wear and tear than the Genoa did. We're super stoked with how the design came out, love the orange, and it was built really well by Precision, so super excited to see the sail fly.